A couple of you have been wondering how I got the guitar tones on my latest single, Breeze. So I thought I would open up the session, show you the guitar rig, show you what I'm doing in the arrangement, and just show you what's going on. So here we go. So here's the session for Breeze. It is very straightforward. This is the whole session here that you're looking at. The whole song, start to finish, only took 22 days, and put it out pretty much immediately right after that because I wanted you guys to have it for the summer, because that's really what it's all about. The top guitars here in this lighter blue are the rhythm guitars. Then the darker blue is like the second guitar, the drier-ish guitar. And then the purple are the leads. Red is drums and percussion. Bass is orange. Key synth pads in green. These stems here, and then the acapella track, which was done by Mark Matter at Record House Studio in Astoria. And if you don't know, now you do, go check it out. Mark's incredible what he does there. Just, it's always a good vibe getting to be creative with him. So he did the acapella track with all the effects, all the EQing, compression, all that. He did all the vocals, sent them over to me with the instrumental. I did the instrumental mixing, and then we sent it out to Chris Geringer at Sterling Sound, who made it sound absolutely incredible. So thank you, Chris. Really appreciate you bringing the song alive. Could not have done it without you. So first, let's look at this guitar at the top. This is like the main first guitar. All of these tracks were done with the Quad Cortex with one preset. Scene A on the Jazz 120, the good old Jazz Chorus 120 amp, super clean, super pristine. It just did what it had to do. We'll play that now. This is the start of the song. So that reverb is a massive character in the sound. Early adopter for the Strymon Big Sky MX. Shout out Strymon. It's definitely worth the upgrade. Sounds incredible. So that is that guitar. That's gonna be our verse guitar, essentially. By the way, I should also mention, all I had on there was just a little EQ on the main guitar there. That's it, nothing else. My guitar rig is really kind of a final sound, if you will. Trying to get a sound and then committing to it early on, which is something I'm trying to do more and more nowadays. So I should mention also that the title of the tracks, as you'll see, a lot of them are like the preset name of the, pedals that I used, or like the combination of pedals. We'll get to that, because I wanted to be able to recall things later, and I wasn't really like programming as I was going. I was just finding a sound, recording it, and then quickly typing in like what I used. So if I wanted to go back later and like program for my gig rig to be able to switch presets with MIDI and all that, I could do that later, which I have done now. So I can actually play this song with all the parts as they are here in real life. So it'll be a complete copy of what the sound is, which is really cool. And it's really fun to bounce back and forth with the Strymon presets, with the MIDI, with the pedal switching that the G3 can do. It's very, very cool. It's like an all-in-one kind of deal. So this is the Saturn's Rings preset. I don't think I changed it at all. It's just the first preset when you power on the Strymon Big Sky MX. All right, so let's go down to this second guitar here, which, spoiler alert, is not a synth. It is a guitar. It's the same signal chain as pretty much this, minus the timeline. I did not have the timeline on for the first octave part, but it would be the pitchfork, which is making the note go up the octave like a whammy pedal. Then the pulp and peel, which, shout out JHS. The pulp and peel is an amazing pedal. I use it as a compressor. It can do a billion other things, but I'm using it as a compressor here just to kind of get more out of the tail of the note. And then the Keeley White Sands, which is a awesome glassy kind of overdrive pedal, light overdrive. The timeline for this kind of echoey kind of call and response lower guitar. And then the Big Sky, it's the same exact preset as the first main guitar. So it's that Saturn's Rings. Maybe I probably upped the wet dry. I'm not really sure, but here's what that sounds like. So here's the octaves. So on that octave part, the EQ, all I'm doing is taking off some top. Wanted to make it a little more lo-fi. The pitchfork already kind of sounds a little lo-fi. There's some artifacts in there. But wanted to darken it up a little bit more. And then with this guitar, stock Logic, so lazy, but it works. Just taking off some top and bottom. kind of telephoning it out a little bit. Didn't want it to stand out too much. Let's go into the chorus guitar now. So this is the just drippy springs preset. And again, all going into the jazz chorus, the Roland Jazz 120 chorus. So this is the drippy springs preset on the Strymon Big Sky MX. That's what this sounds like. So the scene change with the guitars. So they're two totally different characters. Like you have this much more lush and then a little more clarity. Okay, so that's the chorus guitar sound. Here is the verse 2. So verse 2 kind of thickens up a little bit. This is verse 2. So wanting it to be a little different than verse 1. So this is just QC. Decided to add a little bit of flange to it. And some basic EQ, top and bottom. So you have that really wet sound on the left and then the much drier sound in terms of time-based effects, you know, verb and delay. Obviously the flare is a wet effect if you want to consider flange a wet effect, but yeah, it's a drier sound on the right. It gives that nice stereo feel. Here is the shorter leads. This is cool. So this is done with my sick as overdrive from Bondi Effects. Shout out to them. Awesome kind of pedal. I love it in this context. And then the Big Sky MX Spectre Fleck reverb preset, and then the tone knob down. So that's what this sounds like. Let's just hear the lead soloed. It was all done with one guitar, by the way. This is all done with my Tim Henson signature. Different pickups. This is probably on the neck pickup. Here is now chorus 2. So in addition to the drippy springs, we get the Rock the Plates preset, and then we double tracked the guitars left and right. Rakes and then an arpeggio. So a slightly different part. Pretty. Now let's look at the bridge. So the bridge doubled this part and then threw on Timeless 3, which is an incredible plugin. Anything FabFilter makes is incredible. So here's what that sounds like just soloed. Kind of a crazy shimmery sound. Really, it's to stereoize that first guitar more, to give it a little bit more character, a little more texture. Here are the leads. We'll play it with the rhythm. So those reverbs are really working together. Yes, it's a slower tempo song, so it allows for that. But the reverb is really working together. It doesn't get too cloudy. There's still a lot of clarity in there. Shout out to Josh on TikTok. He had asked me, well, not asked. He had mentioned that this guitar kind of sounds like a saxophone when it first comes in. And I guess it sort of does. And I never even thought of that. So this... So those are being supplied by these two effect lines, essentially. So we have one ping pong quarter note delay, which is offset from one another. They're a little bit different. It gives kind of a more stereo feel left and right when they're bouncing at slightly different times. Then this spaced out plugin, which I think I just pulled up a preset, or I might have hit the dice here just for something random, and it worked. Let's hear all those leads together with the ending lick. Guys, that's it. Thank you so much for checking it out. See you on the next one. Love you guys.